Before we get into the video, if you're looking for top quality sample packs, preset packs and templates for your music production, they're entirely royalty free. You can use them in your own productions and learn from them. If you're interested, check out the link in the description and enjoy the video. What's good people, it's Lewis of bbrights and I am back for a brand new video. Today we're working on part 2 of our W&W from start to finish track. In this episode we're working on the drop melody and getting started on the drop synths, so it's going to be a good episode. Last episode we worked on the drop kick. We made a simple drop kick with 5 layers. Like I said in the last episode, this isn't the final kick, it's just basic kick for now. We're going to be making changes and making some small adjustments later down the line, but for now this is what the drop kick sounds like from what we made from last episode. Yeah, so that is the kick. If you want to check that out, that is part 1. So this episode we're working on the drop melody. So yeah, we're going to be making 1 or 2 drop melodies, see what we can come up with, and then we'll start working on the drop synths. So yeah, this is the episode and let's get straight into it. So to make the drop melody, we're just going to be using a simple saw here. Some silent, it's called, just the preset's called favorite saw, sounds like this. Nothing too crazy, just got a small bit of reverb on it. We'll turn it down just a little bit, otherwise it is too loud. We want it to be underneath the kick drum just so we can get a basic idea of what the drop melody will sound like. And then yeah, we'll just get straight into drawing a melody. So depending on how it goes, I'm going to do maybe a time lapse, maybe 2 time lapses, because I'm thinking of making 2 drop melodies just so we can choose from the best. That's what you want to do with your tracks. With your proper productions, make sure you make multiple drop melodies, because you never know, the 3rd one or the 4th one could be the best one of the whole track and then you've made a better track. So yeah, keep experimenting, making drop melodies, and yeah. So obviously we're working in F minor, I believe. Double check, put a G tune on. Yep, so working in F. Turn it down a bit more, it's still a bit loud. The idea I have in my head is W&W likes to do these chord type drops sometimes. So I'm going to be doing a melody, maybe the first 3 bars, and then like a little chord melody here for the drop. And then we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's just run through and see what we can get. So this is number 1, this is the first drop melody I come up with. It's kind of bouncy. I made a little chord thing here, just a simple chord on the end of each 2 bars, of the end of the beat of each 2 bars. So it sounds like this. So that's what it sounds like. It's not bad, I'm not feeling it at the moment, I don't see the potential. Usually when you make a melody, you see the potential and then you carry on working. That's what makes it forward, that's what makes it fun. If you don't really see the potential, don't delete it, because you never know what could come of it. It's just make sure you're feeling the melody before you move on, because it'll make it more of an enjoyable experience. So the next melody I'm going to be making it in triplets. Obviously before it was a regular 4/4, so you can change the snap to grid here. I usually have mine on line. We've just gone into that, gone to snap to 1/3, which is triplets. Yeah, so the next melody we're going to make is triplets. So we're going to mute melody drop 1. We're going to paste another pattern and we're going to rename this drop melody 2, like that. And yeah, we're just going to go again and make another melody. So yeah, that is drop melody number 2. It sounds like this. I got inspired by WW's track with blaster jacks called Let the Music Take Control. Obviously if I pitch it up 1 in F minor, F sharp minor, it would sound quite similar because that's what the key of that song is. So yeah, it sounds similar to that. Now I think I'm going to make one more just for the sake of making multiple drop melodies. Like I said before, it is helpful, makes you be more creative and more freedom. You can pick between them. You know, you never want to just stick with the first drop melody you make. So yeah, let's make one more and then we'll move from there. So let's make one more drop melody. So we have 3 and then we go through all 3 of them, listen to them a few times and then pick our favourite. The other 2 I don't use, I'll probably just give them away to you people. So I'll probably put a link down in the description. Download them both as MIDIs, use them in your tracks, go for it. But yeah, let's just make one more drop melody and then we'll go from there. Paste this one down like that and let's go. So the third and final drop melody sounds like this. We could do some cool chord fill like that. But we'll experiment once we choose our drop melody. So that is the 3 drop melodies. I'll play all 3 of them now. So this is number 1. That is number 1. This is number 2. I really like this one. It just gives me too much of a vibe of the Let the Music Take Control of blaster jacks, because all I can hear is if I pitch it up to F minor, it just sounds like that regardless. And the third and final drop melody, it sounds like this. I really like the number 3 because it has a bit more bounce to it, so I think I might go with number 3. So regardless, like I said, if anyone wants these 2 drop midis, melody 1 and melody 2, just let me know. I'll send them to you, and then we can go from there. So, yeah, so we'll just get rid of these 2. I'm getting more of a W&W vibe off this one, but bearing in mind this is only one sound, we're probably not even going to be using this sound. We're going to be switching them out for drop synths now. But this is the melody we're going with, and we'll go from there. So yeah, we're going to start building on it with drop synths, and then we'll see where we can go. So let's work on the drop synths. I also wanted to mention that I thought it would be cool if I would use the vocal from the W&W track Super Duper Fly, which was actually an original track by 666 called Super Duper Fly. The same melody, they just recreated it and made it a 2019 version, big room. But obviously I have the acapella here, which I downloaded from YouTube. Sounds like this.
Bass up to the top. I like the beat, get ready to rock. The bass up to the top. I like the beat, get ready to rock. The bass goes to the boys, super duper fly.
So that's pretty cool. See, that's in G sharp. If we just pitch it down a few semitones, we can get it into the key of our song. That'll be in a later date though, but I'm thinking of adding that vocal in, make it sound like a cool track, giving actual some vocals and some structure, and yeah, it'll make it sound cool. So I'll be adding that in for sure, but for now, obviously we have the drop melody here, and then we're just going to be replacing this. I've been using a lot of Spire recently. If anyone didn't realise, or has probably have realised, Revealed Recordings sent an email out to everyone who has an account on their revealed.dj, giving out a bunch of free sample packs and free sound banks for free during the pandemic we're going through with COVID-19 and stuff like that. So it was really nice for them to do that. I downloaded a bunch of them. I got some Spire banks, got some Silence banks, and I got a couple sample packs of drums, effects and stuff like that. So it was really kind of Revealed to do that. But yeah, if we just go through some of the Spire leads, they're a bit aggressive. Some of them are a bit odd. I'm not sure how they'll fit in this track, but we'll see. We're just going to keep going through and see what we can find. So these are the revealed recordings Spire Lead Volume 3. So let's see what they have to offer. Bearing in mind, if we're in quite a high octave here, we're in the C6, G sharp 6 range. So if we pitch this down 1 octave, so we get a bit of a lower octave, so we can hear the sound a bit more. So I found this one here, number 20, it's called Lead Pyron. Sounds quite nice. This could be the main layer or a support layer. It sounds like this. You can also play chords of it, so this could be a break sound as well. So let's see if we just turn down the release to make it a bit more snappy, so we can get that bounce feeling we had before. Turn off the reverb and delay. Don't need them. So this is quite a nice lead. We'll call this lead 1. We're going to get a bunch of leads, maybe 8 leads. We're going to stack the layers, and then we're going to see what it comes up with. We can remove some if they're redundant or not doing anything, and we're just going to go from there. We're going to try the revealed signature one here. They have bass, leads, plucks, everything here. They have a bunch of leads here. We can see what they have to offer us from here. So I found this one here called Lead Lake Town. It sounds a bit different, so we're going to make some adjustments, change some of the parameters here, just so we can get it sounding how we want. That's sounding pretty good. Let's call that lead 2. Turn it down a bit. We'll see where it layers with the first lead. The tiniest bit of detune there. They actually fit very, very nice together. They fit very, very nice. Again, we might speed this process up because I'm going to be doing the same thing over and over, just opening up spires and silence until we get a bunch of layers. So yeah, we might do a time lapse here, and I'll go through each sound that I've chosen just so we can speed up the process, because it's going to be a bit tedious of me doing this. So yeah, I'll speed this up and I'll speak to you in a second. So as I was scrolling through preset sounds, I come across this one here called New Year chords. And obviously New Year is WW's trance alias. So I decided to make another melody, see what I can come up with, and actually come up with this. It sounds very WW New Year style. And they're tracks like Voltage and I can't remember the other one. I think it's called Time Spiral. But I come up with this melody here. It's from the same part here. So I copied this part here from the melody 1. But instead of having this section here, I just made these chords, so it sounds like this. And I played it with the kick drum and it actually sounded quite good, so I think we're going to go with this one. And I actually really like that, so I think we're going to go forward with that one. Just because I like the chords, it's very W&W style from their tracks like Arcade and stuff like that. And a few bootlegs and remixes they've done, they like using these chords for their drops. So I think we're going to go ahead and use this melody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the top melody here, so the top notes, and we're going to leave out these bottom notes here because some of the leads we have chosen are portamento, meaning they glide to the next note or they slide into the next note, they don't play chords like this sound here. So these two leads here are portamento. This lead here actually plays chords. So we can just copy and paste this melody onto that one. But for now, we're going to copy and paste this melody on top. And then for the other lead, we're going to copy and paste this bottom one here. So we're still getting the same chord effect. It's just they're playing different chords. So yeah, now the whole lead sounds like this. So sounding good. We're going to create a group here. I'm going to call it group, and we're going to link all these sounds to the one group. And we can start processing them, add a side chain so we can get a basic idea, and start going from there. Obviously, we have one more sound here. We're going to add another sound here. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. We're going to give this a nice blue, and we're going to add a side chain so we can actually play it with the kick and get a better understanding of what it's going to sound like. 75% will do. If we was to add a reverb, just to get a better idea, a big reverb. Already the idea is getting flowing, so that's what we're going to do, and then we can start mixing the leads individually, and then we can move on. So for the final lead here, not entirely sure what I want. Go to the 2020 EDM, feels like W&W. What's this sound like? Oh, perfect. So I guess we can go with this because if it feels like W&W, and we're making a W&W from start to finish, why not? Obviously, it has quite a bit of aggressive distortion there, so if we turn down the dry weight on that. Perfect. And we can call this lead 6 and in brackets W&W, just so we know. Here's that one. And as you can see, we can play chords, so we can copy and paste the top melody as it plays chords. Need to turn down the release, make it a bit more choppy. A lot of these leads have a lot of low end, so we need to remove them because they're sounding a bit muddy. That's one of them. We'll turn this one down as well. Then we can start soloing at the leads, EQing them, getting them sounding nice. So let's go start off with lead 1, which is a chord layer. I think what we're going to do is put in brackets here the ones that are playing chords in the second bar here. We're going to rename them chords just so we know which ones are which. And the ones, for example, lead 4 is just playing a single layer like that. That's just going to be called a lead, just so we can be a bit more organized. So yeah, lead 4 and 5 are normal leads, and I think lead 3 is a chord as well. So yeah, we'll rename this one to chord, and then I think we are good to EQ each sound. Yeah, so all the leads are EQ'd to low end. Some of them are a bit muddy. So we're going to go through and dip some of the 200 Hz region because that is a muddy frequency area in a lot of sounds. That one sounds alright. This one can be dipped. Perfect, and now we can go on to the master channel, do the same thing where we cut out the low end and do a tiny dip at the mid frequency just to get rid of some of that muddiness. Perfect. There we go. So I can see right away already that obviously we have a lot of spire going on here. And obviously I'm recording with OBS and we're going to start processing these soon with FabFilter Saturns and compressors and more EQs and sound goodizers and all that stuff. So it's going to start lagging very soon. I can see it already. So I think it's best if once this is really good sounding, obviously we're going to be making changes later, but once it's decent sound, we bounce it out into WAV so we can save some CPU issues. But until then, we'll quickly throw some distortion on here. So we're going to bring this EQ down because in slot 1 we're going to add a FabFilter Saturn. And we're going to be adding in the basic saturator. This will beef up the leads a lot. Like that. Obviously it creates quite a lot of high end, so we're going to dip around the 10k here because it is where it gets very hissy. And then we're going to do some panning in some of the leads. So I think lead 4 will pan 50% left and we'll pan lead 5 50% right. So now give a more stereo image. And then lead 3 chords will pan 25% left, and then W and W chords here will pan 25% to the right. And then lead 2 will add a stereo shaper and just turn it a bit to the left just to give a bit of stereo. And then we'll leave this one as it is. So then all together with a bit of panning and stereo enhancers, we'll get in there. Obviously we're going to add a multi-band compressor as well to tame some of them high ends because there's so many super saws and synths playing on top of each other. It's 6 leads. It's going to get a bit hissy because all the high frequencies are building up. So we're going to add a multi-band compressor soon. But for now we're going to add a sound goodizer. Obviously a sound goodizer is pretty much a multi-band compressor, but we're going to put it on a very low percentage here on letter A here, on setting A. We're going to add Pro Key 3, do a brick wall slope like that. And then we're going to do another dip. Right there, 15 kilohertz. I can hear some sort of like weird thing here that we need to change. I'm not sure what it is. There we go. Bearing in mind, it might sound very weird at the moment. That's because there's no delay and reverb on the synths. If you was to add reverb again, it would give it a lot more texture. As you can hear, it sounds a lot better with reverb. But as there's no reverb, it does sound a little odd. Don't let that discourage you. We're still working on the synths and it's going to sound a lot better than this. Just for now, we're working on the EQing and the compression and the saturation. But I think we'll leave it there just because it's quite a long episode. We've got the main chunk done, we've got a drop melody and we've got the basic drop synths down. So we'll leave it there, and in the next episode we'll finalise the drop mixing, the lead mixing, and then we'll carry on from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, helps the channel grow, makes me happy. Next episode, like I said, we're going to be finishing the mixing of the leads and finalizing them, and we're probably going to be bouncing them out just to save CPU, and then we'll move from there. For this series, for W&W, I think we're going to make sure we finalize the drop completely before we move on to the break, so then we don't have to keep going back and forth and finishing stuff. So we're definitely going to finalize the drop first, and then we can actually move on with the break. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay safe, produce music, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.